Yo, what is up, guys? Man, we are finally back with another video, guys. I know it's been around like 2 weeks ish, like a week or two. I have been away. I think I put it on my community post, like what was happening and stuff like that. But to pretty much recap, I thought I had the flu, but in reality, I went to the doctor, so like that. So it turns out I actually had the C-word virus. So you guys should know what that means, right? Like the Corona beer, we'll just say that, right? So I ended up getting that. I'm negative again. I feel great, right? Like I feel pretty good and stuff like that now. It took around like a week or two to get it out of my system. And I also went ahead and got the vaccination as well, just in case, right? Like I don't want to experience that again because it was a nightmare, right? So, but that was the first time I actually got it. We're back now. We're gonna finally finish Ultra Vegito, man. We have to finish this. I swear, it's like every time I try to finish this, something gets in my way, dude. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna finish this. Shout out to Arj, man, all the way 100%. And guys, man, let's get on to the video, man. I'm gonna be pumping out lots of videos, guys. Let's just get to it, guys. Let's go.
So our story continues with an aptly black and blue bruised and near defeated Black Frieza, bleeding from the mouth, with his arms dragging down, staring across at a horned warrior, who stands tall, stalking him like a vulture, as the Space Emperor just grumbles out, Vegeta! As watching, with a typical cocky smirk, with black and whites and purple eyes, true demon Vegeta would motion for Frieza to come over, saying, My, Frieza, you don't seem to be your usual regal self.
Yeah, I do remember this from the last time we did this episode.
As an old accomplice of yours, you can confide in me. What's wrong? Don't tell me you're ready to give up. How embarrassing to the late King Cold to see his son be so effortlessly dominated by a so-called monkey. Perhaps you are no frost demon after all. But as expected, these words would only serve to infuriate Frieza, as he lifts his fists and grumbles, rocketing his energy as black lightning sparks all around, and he screeches, Damn you! I cannot take this anymore! Just die and stay dead! As Black Frieza would then instantly launch himself straight towards the Royal Prince with conviction. Bring it on! As Vegeta, inviting it forward like it was nothing, would just tense into fighting stance, ducking his head down while mumbling under his breath, That's it, clown! Get angry and perform for me! Keep going. We're going to need you as strong as possible, won't we, Vegito? But as Frieza would launch a kick straight at Vegeta, it would be effortlessly parried still, as simultaneously the prince's palm would rise up to Frieza's face. What? Monkey, be careful! Leaving the Emperor terrified,
be careful. Wait,
he
what?
screams in fear.
Why is he telling him to be careful for?
Do better, Frieza! Vegeta instantly would blast out the palm of his hand, a merciless splash of pure energy, seemingly erasing Frieza's face to dust. His whole head is lost.
Wait, what?
Gladly, monkey!
Oh, wait, well, he's still
but alas, fine. That wouldn't be enough for the Emperor, as quickly, with his skull still letting off fumes from the burn of the attack, Frieza would duck his head down and immediately thrust his arm forward with a pointed finger like a spear before Blast you! Frieza's finger would make direct contact with the torso of a surprised Frieza, stopping standstill right at the edge until... Viciously, Frieza would fire at point-blank range a death beam that penetrates the prince instantly, causing him to reel in pain.
It went straight through him.
And as Vegito would feel its immediate effects, he would reminisce. That death beam feels just the way I remember it on Namek. To which a laughing Frieza would confidently respond, yes, though it's unfortunate this time you managed to make me miss a vital point. What now, monkey? Are you going to cry and tell us about your poor childhood again?
Oh, shoot.
Shut it! Which Vegeta now triggered himself.
Vegeta gotta get payback
fight through the
that,
pain and slam his knee straight into the chin of Frieza, sending his head snapping up violently as blood splatters. Leaving Vegeta to quip, "No tears here, clown. But now, where do you think you're going? Come back here." While unbeknownst to him, an already recovered Frieza smirking would comment back ominously, "How about you come up here instead?" What? Immediately using his fifth limb, his tail,
Frieza's keeping
the
up.
unsuspecting neck of the prince. Now what are you doing? Annoying Vegeta as Frieza would jump back behind, laughing, saying, "Oh, you just wait and watch. This will be quick." Before instantly, like a donkey, Vegeta would immediately thrust his leg backwards, slamming Frieza's face awkwardly mid-sentence, catching his cheek as Vegeta giggles. "Sorry, what was that you were just saying, Frieza?" Before quickly turning to kick Frieza from the side. But on this occasion, Frieza would be ready to dull at least some of the blow with his hands alone, albeit with a grimace on his face. "Not bad, but block this!" Leaving Vegeta to then combo with his clenched right fist until... But just as he would launch it, Black Frieza would disappear without a trace.
I mean, yeah, Black Frieza's holding up.
What? Reappearing eventually, but not close in the slightest. Some distance away, as he lands gracefully, looking back with a curious smile. As turning around, Frieza would begin taunting the prince, recalling, "Oh dear, fighting with you equally like this is truly leaving my skin crawling, Vegeta. How I long for the old days, when you and your boldy friend were nothing but my lowly slaves. Monkeys on a leash, as you were always meant to be. I used to love seeing you on your knees. It reminded me of that pathetic father of yours before you But as the prince would hear this, a bubbling, ferocious fury would rise, as his demonic side would come through his voice, and he would continue, "You may have enslaved my race, made a fool of my kind in the past, but those times are well and truly over. Keep reminding me, keep pushing me, and I will show you just what it feels like to pick on those far weaker than yourself." As on finishing this monologue, the prince would immediately launch forward, the now no longer chuckling emperor. and instantly, with a counter from Frieza, both would iconically punch each other on the face at the same exact time.
Yep.
With Vegeta spouting,
kind of reminds me of Super, Dragon Ball Super.
"Does this remind you of the past too?" While Frieza would grumble, "Shut it, monkey!" And just like that, the two would then begin a long-lasting skirmish, as both of the now older warriors would battle continuously, trading blows at every turn and increasing their speed consecutively with each attack until their movement can no longer even be seen. "Too slow, clown! I'm right here!" What? But it wouldn't be too long before the true difference between Vegeta and Black Frieza would be seen in full display, as Vegeta, with both arms cocked back, would then appear right behind the Emperor, ready to rain down. Slamming his sledgehammer-like hold directly onto the soft back part of Frieza's skull, as his eyes pop open, momentarily losing all consciousness. His body inevitably then flying at speed down to the ground for a humongous crash that would cause anyone multiple
I thought
bone
Vegeta was
fractures.
already trying super hard already, to be honest, but I guess not. Okay.
And once we see Frieza's face again, we would see the agony in his soul as he grimaces hard, unable to open his eyes, let alone move his paralyzed in pain body. But with what little strength he has left, he would mumble, I can't beat this monkey. This is as far as this black form can go. I was foolish. These two will always have the upper hand on me."
Whoa.
What did I just hear, Frieza? But Frieza's soft-spoken admission of defeat would not be allowed for long, as almost immediately following this, Vegeta would shoot down like a torpedo, grabbing Frieza harshly by the throat, unwilling to let the Emperor have a second of rest from his beatdown. Before, with a loud yell, he would angrily scold, "What the hell do you think you're doing, Frieza? All that talk about your almighty power and unlimited potential, but here you are, giving up like a mere Cyberman. I've never liked you, but I have at least grown to respect your strength, whether you deserve it or not. You truly are pathetic. What a letdown you have shown yourself to be. And if you cannot be of any use to us, then you can no longer deserve to exist here either."
What is he laughing about, bro?
Almost as if losing his mind and will to live at this point, would just let out a strange laugh in response, as he would continue to call back saying, "Vegeta, how far you've come. Do you remember the first time you fought me? How easily I dispatched of you. It is truly remarkable how you monkeys have flipped the table on me entirely. Perhaps I'm not the all-powerful ruler I thought I was, but please, spare me." Never! Kakarot may have been soft enough to let you go, but I will never be. Your one chance of redemption was now, you weakling! Suddenly, Vegeta would rush his fist straight for the face of the vulnerable Frieza, looking it in the eye before... "I will not die here, monkey!" Suddenly, Frieza would scream out in a fury, unable to accept his impending fate, as his voice markedly goes deeper, and his eyes then completely transform to a violent purple. What the? Freezing Vegeta on the
Hey, yo,
spot
new transformation,
as he
bro?
notices the sudden and remarkable change in the Emperor, as internally the Prince would think, what's going on? His energy, it's changing again. Those eyes, has he somehow managed to do it? Ascend, Frieza! Show us what you can do!
Vegeta! What the hell is that?
What? As suddenly, rising from the ashes, a truly beastly creature would begin to dwarf Vegeta with a growl. His body several times bigger than Vegeta, as the Emperor's body would begin to contort and transform. What is happening to him?
What the hell is that?
As Vegeta would just be forced to stare up in pure shock and disillusionment, as the once weakened and down Frieza would grow into a monster right before his eyes, leaving the Saiyan Prince paralyzed in disbelief. Something's not right! And immediately, getting a hold of himself again, instinctively, Vegeta would then jump back quickly in fear. For good reason, as suddenly, a huge mass of energy would explode forth from the body of Frieza, as a deep demonic scream is heard in tandem. All the while, the only thing Vegeta can do is watch in awe as wind and pressure blow all around. But once all the theatrics are over with, Black Frieza will be seen once more. His body now far larger, akin to his second form, but his eyes now black with purple pupils. As his body, now on one knee, would begin slowly rising until...
Whoa.
Almost as if necessary at this point, two horns that are actually truly befitting of Frieza in his large form then burst forth.
Okay, so he also has those purple eyes.
Larger and more menacing.
I'm not sure if he had it in his
than
last
anything
form, but I know, well, now he
come
has it, right?
And soon, in classic Dragon Ball style, as we pan across the various parts of his new body, we would see the larger, much bulkier torso, the thicker and horned skull of his from behind, and his much more muscular arms and legs before...
Vegeta!
We would finally have a glimpse of Black Frieza's now far more defined and sculpted face.
Yeah, also,
With
sorry guys if
bulging
I'm like
eyebrows
coughing a lot. I guess
menacing demonic
it's still
purple
like
eyes
sort
we've come to
of
so
sort of like
closely
in me a little
associate
bit. I
with
guess.
Ultra
I think you
Vegito
get like a lingering
himself.
cough still after it's done.
Looks
I'll
like
try
it
to
was
try to
you
mute
who
out the
pushed
coughs,
me
I think.
too far in the end, monkey. As Black Demon Frieza would then finally be seen, looking markedly different and far more terrifying than he has ever before, as he stands in an odd, monstrous but calm stance, as the smoke of his transformation
It kind of reminds me of his
gusts
second form,
past.
does it? Does it not?
All the while, the
He's
stunned
huge.
Vegeta
What the?
just
How
remains
tall is he? Like
still
7 feet? 8?
stone cold. Is that fear I smell, young prince? And with a dastardly smirk on his face, Frieza would add, I believe this is the power you requested. Seems I was right about my black form being at its limit. But that does not mean the great Frieza was. Frieza! Finally showing us the reaction of Vegeta, who is nothing short of shell-shocked and stunned.
Well, I think
His
Vegeta's
fists
gonna
clenched tight, as if preparing himself
suffer.
his eyes
gonna
and
start
mouth
suffering now
open
from
wide
Frieza.
agape as he mutters out, You finally did it! This is the power you had hidden! This is exactly what I warned Kakarot of all those years ago! Yes, seems you are a smarter monkey than the other, but a monkey nonetheless. As Black Demon Frieza would then stare into his palm with awe and laugh joyously, continuing, I must commend you. For a moment there, I actually accepted my defeat to the hands of you. But just like you have always been, even since the days you were by my side, you never know when to shut up. And now, you will get just what you had wished for, my dear prince. As suddenly, Frieza's voice would drop several octaves as a demon side would begin to show itself, and his power would begin rising as an intense pressure coaxed the surrounding area before... Hello, monkey! What? As suddenly, with instantaneous
where the hell did he
speed
come
that would
from? Like,
even
what the-
shock true demon Vegeta,
Wasn't he just like all the way over
Frieza
there? Like, what
would
the?
appear right in front of the dwarf Saiyan, his whole body encompassing Vegeta as if about to crush him. As looking down devilishly, Frieza would realize the switch of the script and say, looking down, What's wrong, Prince Vegeta? Why do you look so scared? Even your pathetic father didn't quiver like this. You should be happy. I will finally allow you to join him. In hell, you damn monkey! As suddenly, with rage, compounded from all the previous pages, Black Demon Frieza, with all his force and a fulfilled smile on his face, would then uppercut Vegeta into oblivion, striking deep under the chin, causing the prince's blood to splatter all over the Frost Demon's body.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
And in the aftermath, Vegeta would be sent shooting into the sky above, as if flying there himself. While Frieza from below would giggle, goading, Oh, leaving so soon, Vegeta? While the still frozen in pain, flying faster and faster into the air, Prince would be thinking in shock, His speed, his power, how could it jump that far? Has he surpassed Vegito? But before that shocking thought could be finished, Frieza would then quickly appear in the sky as if always there, saying, Well, if you're going to leave, then at least allow me to say goodbye properly. As spinning his body, Black Demon Frieza would then slam his now oversized tail straight onto the back and spine of Vegeta, for devastating effect as he screams in agony until, with a swift and sudden crash, he would explode onto the ground like a bullet striking concrete. Leaving the giggling Frieza, who seems to just be playing with his food, to comment looking back, So, this is the extent of half of Vegito's power, Funny, as I don't seem to be even using 1% of mine. But back with Vegeta, in the aftermath of the crash, no sound or movement can be heard, as only thick gusts of smoke clouds wade through the air. While Black Demon Frieza, now with his hand under his
Vegeta,
chin,
bro, Vegeta,
in
you
typical
okay?
fashion, would just
Oh
chuckle.
no!
I believe you were calling me pathetic only moments ago. A monkey scolding me for seemingly having given up. But look at you now, Vegeta. Not ready to get up and continue. What do you require? A banana, perhaps, Saiyan? Don't underestimate a Saiyan!
Yeah, there's my
But
goat.
in a demonic roar of
There
his
he
own,
is, Vegeta, okay.
bursting from the clouds, the prince would explode with his own powerful energy, unwilling to accept his defeat at the hands of his former slave driver. As Vegeta's aura would viciously grow larger and larger to the point he would seem an ant in comparison, as the horned Frieza would just look on unflinchingly. Enough! And as Vegeta's scream to the heavens would eventually end, he would finish by roughly then grabbing onto his blue vest and ripping it off instantly, staring now with a strange smirk towards Frieza and saying, "Took you long enough,
Wait, is that his
Frieza.
demon form? Wait, is that his
I've
ultra
been
form
dying
just
for
with the
an
horns
equal
as well
challenge
now?
here for years now, and it looks like it's a fellow demon. We can finish with the back and forth. I'm ready to show you the power of us Saiyans once and for all.
Okay.
Get ready, you damn lizard!" As now topless, pumping his muscles to the max, Vegeta would then duck
Full
down
power.
with a big grin and get into fighting stance once again, seemingly more revved up than ever to battle, despite his earlier beatdown. And as Vegeta would power up, in the distance, Black Demon Frieza would just land nonchalantly with a soft thud. Oh! And almost intrigued like a god looking down at a lesser creature, Frieza would look on at Vegeta and say, "It seems you do have some more inside of you, Saiyan. Guess you didn't need that banana after all. But surely, you don't truly believe you could defeat me as I am now? You may as well hurry up and call your daddy Vegito." "Just watch me and see, Frieza!" But undeterred by Black Demon Frieza's severe underestimations, the prince would just shoot off with insane speed directly towards the Emperor.
Oh shoot,
But
I know
once
that. I know that
arrived,
stance.
It wouldn't be for the kind of attack we had all predicted. As in a callback to
Vegeta
his
versus
eradication
Pui
of Pui Pui,
Yep.
Vegeta would
There it
suddenly
is.
come to a stop just below Frieza's gaze, placing his hands on the Emperor's torso. "You're going to regret letting me in so close, clown!" With a crazed smile, as if having won, Vegeta would just laugh and concentrate his energy, while Black Demon Frieza, looking down with the cockiest of smirks, would just laugh. "Oh, is that so? Well, as they say, no point of living a life of regret. Do your worst, sweet prince." Instantly, as if on Frieza's command, Vegeta would blast out a truly ferocious blast of energy that evaporates seemingly anything in its vicinity, with the larger Frieza's whole body lost in the light. And Vegeta,
Bro, what if
pouring
Frieza
all
just
his
pulls
energy
a
into this,
Broly
would
and it's just like
expand it
perfectly
even
fine, bro.
further, making sure nothing, not even Ultra Vegito, could survive. And watching with glee at his masterwork, he would comment with a grin, "Damn, I suppose Vegito could have used that energy even if it were marginally weaker than mine still. But if that's all he could rise up to, we made a mistake considering him at all anyway. Yes, certainly a big mistake has been made. No! But as Vegeta would cockily just assume his victory, from behind, Black Demon Frieza would appear suddenly and without a scratch
he's
on
that far ahead.
looking down as the Saiyan remains frozen, perplexed, without a clue how he could have missed. Peekaboo! But suddenly, like a crashing thunder, Frieza would then clap both of his hands onto the face of the unsuspecting Saiyan, gripping him tight. Get off me, you freak! But the enraged Vegeta would be quick to then send his elbow flying back in defiance. But what would meet him is just thin air, as an afterimage of the Emperor dissipates instead. What? Didn't you call me too slow earlier? Only for Frieza to reappear, this time with lightning speed, right in front of the shocked Vegeta, who can only mumble, "This speed is too much!" But Frieza, without a shred
he doesn't
of
have a
empathy,
scratch on him, right?
would just stare back and reply,
he literally he does have a
"What's
scratch
too
on him.
much, Vegeta? Nothing is too much for my dear prince. Is this not what you wanted? For me to grow stronger, and for you to show me just how much stronger you Saiyan monkeys are." Well, how about you start already? Quickly switching to brutally elbow Vegeta on the side of his temple, cracking his skull before... No, really, show me the power of you Saiyans! Before switching to slam the prince into the distance with speed until... You seem to be letting the entire Saiyan race down, monkey! With anger and
Bro, look at
vitriol in
Vegeta's
his
face,
voice,
man. He was getting
Frieza
body
would
right
shoot
now.
up within an instant to catch up to Vegeta, raising his two hands up clenched together, just as Vegeta had done earlier. The only pathetic one here is you! As taking out the anger of Vegeta's earlier words too, Frieza would then slam his double fist down onto Vegeta's lifeless, vulnerable body, sending Vegeta flying down with rapid speed. But unbelievably, with even greater speed, Frieza would travel straight down to the ground,
what?
crashing his elbow to a smash. But for what reason? It would be unknown until...
He did a Krillin. Wait, he did a Krillin.
The Boldy
maneuver,
screamed
bro.
the
Damn.
same way. As shockingly, the result would then be shown as a standing up ready for Vegeta's inevitable fall, Black Demon Frieza would catch the prince's shoulder with his massive horns instead, skewering him brutally like a piece of meat as Vegeta screams out like a bat out of hell, having experienced some of the most pain he would ever feel in the entire series. You can get off now. Ugh. And with massive blood loss now blurring his vision and weakening him instantly, Frieza would just then carelessly tilt his head to slide Vegeta off like a kebab. And slowly but surely, as Frieza watches
Vegeta,
please
guys.
from above, Vegeta's ragdoll-like body would fall. Until landing with a hard thud on the ground, front-facing first, and instantly beaten back down into base. Damn it! But with his Saiyan pride intact, Vegeta, even in this state, would push his willpower to the limit and struggle up.
Willpower. Okay, you like to see it.
Eventually getting to his knees, huffing and puffing hard, while iconically grabbing his now bleeding profusely arm and letting out hushed, "Impossible! Frieza beat me! This quickly! Just how many forms has this damn lizard got?" But despite his victory, an unsatisfied look would just encroach on Frieza's face, as looking down palpably disgusted, Frieza would say, "How pitiful. I've been through hell and back to reach this level, and this is all you could last after all that talk? I wonder if you are even worth re-assimilating with Vegito. Perhaps you are better off dead, dear prince." But I'll let you dodge this and decide that for yourself, as suddenly Black Demon Frieza would calmly begin powering up at the tip of his finger, a black ball of energy that could only be his new signature Black Death Beam. Time to die, monkey! With a truly freaky big grin on his face, Frieza would yell out before Frieza would fire down instantly his deadly beam of energy that travels down at nothing short of instantaneous speed towards the wound.
Is Vegeta gonna save him or what?
And it would only take a second for Vegeta to realize just what kind of predicament he's in, as he stares head-on with the fast-approaching beam, of course, not being able to do a thing about it. No! Vegito, do something! But as the shock settles in and his imminent death approaches, he can only call on the all-powerful Vegito, who has been missing this entire chapter. No! Frieza! And as the beam gets so close that Vegeta's eyes would be lost in the light, it truly seems like no god killer will be here to save the day. What? But that does not mean nobody else would arrive.
Wait, what?
As unbelievably, out of nowhere, Son Goku would return with unflinching confidence.
Wait, what?
Some way, somehow, able to deflect and knock away Black Demon Frieza's powered up Death Beam
Goku?
with a single hit and without a word, as it explodes behind the two Saiyans. Kakarot! You!
Yeah.
Kakarot, you're finally back! Immediately showing the truly shocked looks of Vegeta, Frieza, and even Vegito, as they all stand in awe and confusion over Goku's sudden confident entrance. But all things would then be explained. Sorry I took so long, Vegeta, but I guess now it's my turn to step in. As unbelievably, the results of Goku's training would finally be revealed. As staring with pure conviction at Frieza, Goku would bear the strikingly blue Seraphim eyes. Only once seen before on Zeno's Royal Guard himself. Just what
Zeno's
kind
guard.
of almighty power has our hero Son Goku unlocked now?
There you guys have it, man. That was Goku's new form, Surpasses Ultra Vegito, guys. That was a fun one, man. For my return back from, sickness, I guess. that was great. That was a good video. Like I said, guys, we're gonna go ahead, try to get some more of these videos out super quick. Probably have like 3 today, probably like 3 to 5 tomorrow. And then I gotta, like, you know, go to work and stuff like that. Then after that, probably try to get like 3 or 5 videos out. But bare minimum 3. You know, I'll get 3 videos out, like in, like, you know, a couple days in a row, right? Just get 3 videos out. Just keep going like that. And yeah, I'm gonna rate this episode like a solid 8 out of 10 as well. Hopefully this cough goes away, and that should be all of my symptoms like gone. Like as soon as this cough 100% goes away, I should be like 100% good to go, and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you guys, of course. I know it's been a while, but we are back. Hopefully nothing else gets in my way, bro, please. And hope you guys have a good day, and see you guys then. Peace.